I've been a CFA volunteer for 22 years, fought all the major fires in Victoria. You get that for nothing. We do it for nothing.
Does she want to get out and hold our hoses? Because, she might have to, because there won't be any of us left. That's fair income too, mate.
This Premier has screwed the state and everyone in it, not just farmers, business owners, residential owners. If you have any ambition in this state, if you want to own a house, own a business, get a job, this government taxes you, disincentivises you, but if you're a loser and you have got no ambition, then this government just hands it to you anyway. What sort of way to run a country or a state is that?
I'm happy, Jacinta, for you to come up to Mansfield and learn all about this, and especially the Treasurer. Learn from Mansfield Shire about how we can keep rates low. Maybe we could help you down here in Spring Street.
Do you guys focus on rates, roads and rubbish, or do you get involved in all the woke culture wars?
No, we've got Australia Day, and we will always have Australia Day. I fought in the Australian Army for 5 years, and I'm proud of this country. I'm proud of my people in Mansfield. We love Mansfield. There will always be an Australia Day while I'm there.
Do you reckon the T-shirt says it all?
Oh, pretty much, yeah. I love it, Avi, and I love everything that you do for our community, mate. I'm a big follower of yours. You're a bloody winner, mate.
I think I just sold one of the T-shirts from rebelstore.com.au. You'll see the Mayor of Mansfield tomorrow repping one of our T-shirts. What would you say if the Premier was watching this now, down the barrel of the camera, what would you say to her?
Can I swear? Or never protested before. But I'm really passionate about this one, and I need it to get out to people that this has to change. This government has to change.
Last time I came to a protest was around about 25 years ago.
So why now?
Why not? That's the real thing to it. There's so much at stake here.
Yemini for Rebel News in Melbourne, Australia. The protest capital, usually a protest that Victorians don't welcome, but this one seems to be welcomed by locals because it is the CFA, the firefighter volunteers and the farmers coming from the country here to protest a new levy that was pushed through Parliament by the Labor government sneakily last week just before today's budget came out. But we're hearing today in the budget there's no new taxes, so what are you talking about?
Well, they passed this before the budget, so it was passed last week. They ran it through until 2 a.m. Eventually, the government did a deal with the Greens, as they do always, and it's passed.
I have the drivers of the following tankers that are blocking the intersection of Russell and Flinders Street. Can you please? Love the noise, that's what we want, but you are blocking the intersection that's preventing trams and cars getting through. We have had notification from VicPol that if those trucks aren't moved, they will be taken away by heavy haulage.
Don't tell me you parked illegally though.
No, of course not, man. I paid my fine, I paid my meter and everything, right?
Did you?
Of course I did.
You're about the only CFA member here today that's paid for a meter. I'm going to out you. Boys, did you park illegally today?
No, come on a bus.
I'm just handing out fines for VicPol. Thanks for your service, guy. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
You know, mate, you're parked illegally here.
Really? God, I'm from a blasted country town. I wouldn't know.
You didn't put money in the meter to be here.
What's a meter?
The last thing we wanted to do was inconvenience anyone, but we're just absolutely desperate in the situation we're in, and we don't know what else to do.
But what you saw going past there were a lot of old trucks that are no longer up to the modern safety standards, but the CFA volunteers still get on them to help their communities out. And now the Allen government want to tax us. And worse, the farmers are the ones going to have to pay the most tax. Farmers that are in drought at the moment, suffering, they want to tax them. I think they just want to tax them into oblivion. I don't know whether they want their Chinese mates to come and take over everything or not, but that's what's happening in Victoria. And the city people need to know that too.
Well, Avi, I'm here as Mayor of Mansfield Shire to stand up for my community. We are absolutely opposed to the tax They have not engaged with local government. 189% for farmers and 100% for everybody else.
Bloody tax that's affecting every Victorian, not just us. And they're using us as an excuse to collect this bloody tax.
Why? We all know why. Because they're broke. And this is what they do. They increase taxes instead of being smart about it and say we're going to support business with less tax, and that's how we will grow our economy. That's the sensible thing.
You see other countries around the world have been through this and are going through it, and slowly the more you tax a community and get a state in debt like this place is, you end up like a Venezuela or an Argentina, and then you don't have health cover, you don't have hospitals, everything becomes so much more expensive because everybody's broke.
Are you telling us socialism isn't a good idea?
Maybe so. I think it's pretty obvious. But, take your head out of the sand. People voting Greens still. Honestly, the Greens were the one who pushed this through. The Marijuana Party, people vote for them as a joke. Take your head out of the sand and see what's going on to your state.
The Greens? Where are the Greens? Do they fight fires? How many Greens people are in the CFA? Where are they? Do you see any Greens here?
Unless you're offering soy lattes in the country, you're not going to get any Greens there.
That's correct.
The more your house is worth, the more you're going to pay on your rates. It's wrong.
And it's
it's
not
wrong.
just this. They just keep on bringing in all these new taxes. Just take. There's just got to be an end to it.
But Jacinta Allen today, the Premier's saying that there's no new taxes in this budget. You're not buying it?
Well, she's full of She's full of
The government's calling it a levy and you keep calling it a tax. Why do you think there's a difference in kind of the wording there?
Well, they're very good with their words, aren't they, Avi? They're very good, very sneaky with their words. It's just spin, and we have called it out today. The 5 or 10,000 people here, whatever it is, we've called it out for what it really is.
She can call it not a new tax. We've already got this higher service levy on. All she's doing is increasing it by 189%. So maybe it's not a new tax, but it's pedantic bloody words, isn't it?
Look, this is a tax, and they said no new taxes in this budget.
Well, it technically came out last week. It's not in the budget.
It's pretty rude.
It's horrific, mate. We've done that many thousands of hours on strike teams, Black Saturday and that, away for a week at a time, and to get treated like this, pretty ordinary. We love our trucks, we respect them, the time we put in, mate, it's unbelievable. But to have this happen and put it through at 2 o'clock in the morning with the minor parties, and that's pretty. Look, it's what you expect from this government. So
they campaign for social justice and this and that. Well, what about on our side and for the farmers and the people out in the rural communities that we're not being looked after by the government.
2 tankers supplied.
2 fire trucks, CFA fire trucks.
But then we have 21 farmers-owned private units.
So those are private units by farmers. So the farmers are actually paying for their own unit.
And they have a tank fire unit, and they go out and fight the fires as well.
And now they're also going to be taxed.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
House.
It is fella. He drove the first truck in this morning.
There you go, mate. First truck. What time did you get here?
Would have been 6:30 or 7 o'clock. 6:30, I reckon. Yeah.
From?
Minimite, southwest Victoria. Yeah.
How far?
It's like a 4-hour drive. Yeah.
So what time you leave?
quarter past 3, I reckon, or 3. Yeah, early enough. Yeah.
Why?
Oh, we're just fed up, sick of it. We're not going to pay this. Like, no one here will pay this. We'll go to war over this.
And why are they getting the local governments to collect their own tax? I'll tell you why. Because no one would pay it. If it was the State Revenue Office collecting this, it wouldn't get paid. Simple as that.
A private unit costs Jacinta nothing. Nothing at all.
And she's if they're not volunteers, they won't get any exemption or anything.
Yeah.
What would you say to the Premier if she was watching this now?
Resign.
It would have cost you to volunteer for the period that you volunteered almost $1 million.
Yeah, nice, wouldn't it? You wouldn't be a volunteer, would you?
Who taxes a volunteer? I mean, talk about take you away the incentive to go and help your community. I just said, well, as I said to a person before, I go to a fire, everybody else is running the other direction, and I've got to pay for the right to hop on the truck. It just doesn't seem right.
Where are you from?
I'm the same, near
Right,
near Hamilton,
So
Penn.
you guys came together? No.
We
You're
came
You're
on the
family.
train.
You guys came on the train, you came in the truck? Yep. You don't trust his driving?
No, we can't all fit in the truck.
You rely on him to fight fires, you just didn't want to get in the truck with him.
My husband's a part of the CFA too.
Oh, you also a volunteer. How long have you guys volunteered?
I reckon I've been 20 years probably. Yeah.
Well, I joined in 1978.
1978. 78.
All these people have been in for...
So what are you complaining about? You've just started.
That's right. That's right.
1978, that's before I was born.
Last century.
My goodness.
But look, Kevin would be longer. When did you join, Kevin?
When did you join?
What year?
February 65, so I've just done 60 years.
You even know the month you joined?
Yep.
February 65.
Yep, so I've done 60.
How's that possible when you're only 23?
I wish I looked at.
Yeah, mate, I've been a volunteer for 35 years now, been captain and that.
Your wheat farmers and your...
So we're looking at a $20,000 increase.
What's that going to do to you?
Oh, mate, it's how do you budget it? Like, we're in pretty well drought at the moment, so don't know, mate, things we have to go without. Yeah, school camps and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
So you're pretty new to the job?
Beg your pardon?
You're pretty new to the gig?
Used to this.
New. That was a joke. Bad
Fire
joke.
emergency should be in the budget. It shouldn't be a levy. It should be just in the budget. There's plenty of things they're wasting money on. Hot water systems for free and all this sort of stuff. There's 3.8 million that's been spent over the last few years just on energy efficient stuff. Honestly.
Harvey, can I say that this tax is blatant discrimination against the farming community? Pure and simple. They know that because we're a small percentage of the community, they can afford to lob a 180% increase on it. It's going to add more than 25% to our shire rates and tax bill that we pay on the value of our farming property, and I'm jack of it.
Essential services and emergency services should be funded through consolidated revenue. With all the money they waste, they can afford it, and that's where it should be funded, not through farmers.
We're not just fighting for ourselves, we're also fighting for our neighbours at the same stage. Why should we get a rebate as such, and they shouldn't? That's very unfair, and the fires don't discriminate in the end.
This exemption is rubbish. When you go into the details, it's so conditioned out, we'll get very little. And it's only on one property. Most farmers have lots of blocks, so they'll only get an exemption on their house block. It's everything's so conditioned out, we won't get anything from it. I think there's been a lot of spin on it, and there'll be a lot of spin today about, you know, what's actually happening. If you get into the details of it, it's really bad.
It's bullshit. No, bullshit. I brought a whole bag of it.
You bought bullshit here.
Cow shit, yeah. Bullshit.
Why do you have to bring bullshit when there's an entire parliament full of it?
Yeah. Well, it's coming out from under the door.
It's disingenuous. They are treating the people of Victoria as if we're dumb. We're not dumb. We understand. We are all awake.
Do you have proof you actually bought that from the country and you didn't find it here?
No. I'm a farmer. Look at this fresh one. Holy shit, that is fresh.
You guys are just so willing to actually touch it.
You want to have a go?
It's a pretty shit tax, as you can see. A shit tax introduced by a shit government that can't manage money. Just disappointing in what they're doing to every Victorian, let alone what they do in the country of Victoria.
Look, I'm here supporting our farmers and our CFA members. I'm a member for North Victoria. I'm a dairy farmer myself, so I know how much this is going to hurt our regional communities. Regional Victorians did not elect Labor into Parliament. We are being punished for that, clearly, because yet again they're taking more out of our regional communities.
To Victorians that don't think it's their problem, to the city people, what would you say to them?
Wait, there's a fire at your back door.
Thanks for your service, mate.
Thanks, nice talking to you.
If you own a house, you're up for a 100% increase. It's everyone, but they're slugging us the hardest.
It's not just a country problem. There's nothing country about this problem. If we go down, our farmers are on the edge. If we lose our farmers, that's our food. They're our food bowl.
Sheep are farmed out in the country, but there seems to be that many sheep in the city following her. maybe they're turning around. I can't really work it out, but I surely hope that your rural cities, your Geelong, her home city, Bendigo, Ballarat and Melbourne, I certainly hope that they've got a bit of a change of heart. It's a disgrace.
Parliament is making things that are destroying us, going to send us bankrupt. It's going to take food production out of Australia. And as you said there just before, the city people now are really getting behind this because they're starting to understand what's happening. And this is a big problem that we have in rural and regional Australia, is that the people in the city will help us, but they just don't know what's happening.
It will affect them because the cost of living has got to go through the roof or you won't have any farmers left producing food.
How long have you volunteered?
45 years.
So you're pretty new.
Yeah. I don't need me by the look of it, so it's time to retire.
Look, the mentality of a lot of city people is that, mate. That doesn't worry them, but the only one day it's going to affect them when they go to the fridge and there's no food. We've got to make a stand, and just do something and make them realise that the milk just doesn't come off the shelf or the bread doesn't come off, the grocery store, mate. Like a tonne of wheat, there's 4,800 loaves of bread, mate, and we get $300 a tonne. So we're just sick of being a horse, mate. We're being ridden all the time.
This is a global big picture problem, and this is where we need to be. And well done to you for covering this today, because this is very important. And if Rebel's been covering it in Canada as well, this is critically important. Your food security is everything.
The thing is, this is going to ripple into the city. The more it's costing farmers, the more it's going to cost everybody in Victoria. Look, it's going to see rents go up. It's going to see our produce go up even more. It's costing a fortune to feed your average family now. Can you imagine what this is going to be like in 18 months' time?
Fifth generation farmer from around Corimba, and currently our family between us would pay, probably in excess of $5,000 for these fire services levies. Now, when the Allen government increases that by 300%, which they will do over the coming years, that's going to take it from $5,000 to $15,000 for one family. Is that sustainable when we give up our time, leave our families in dangerous situations, and most of that's done on public land because of the mismanagement of our national parks and roadways?
The way they've been managing that Crown land, that's set for combustion. They do that on purpose.
There's a disaster coming.
They're waiting for it. There's an opportunity coming. Yeah.
For climate change.
Yeah. They love to push that narrative. Yes. They'll lock it up, they'll leave it, and then it'll go catastrophic, and they'll go, climate change.
Do you reckon this is going to be good for animals?
No. You burn all the animals in the national parks, that's a good thing.
So the national parks are going to be stuck burning now?
Yep. Everyone that was here won't be fighting the fires. Guarantee it.
For instance, a strike team, you go away for 24 hours. That. The CFA tell you that. It's a 24-hour job. Who else is going to work 24 hours straight? Farmers do.
You're still going to look after your own patch, maybe, but we're not going out in the trucks. We've all stood down, so we're all stood down until the fire levy's gone.
But in the Greens' defence, they'll say, if we get rid of climate change, we don't need the CFA.
Can I say bullshit?
It's a great thing that we're all band together and do this, but we're side by side here, and we will fight to the death on this. We are wild.
Why is your mate so quiet though? Why is he running away from the camera?
Good question. Ask him.
Are you braver with fires than you are with cameras?
Oh, look, I tend to shy away from the camera a little bit. Yeah.
Do you want the You want to? Oh. It's funny how the Greens always live in the inner city and not in the green nature.
No. Are they out fixing the fences?
They wouldn't have a clue what goes on out there. Wouldn't have a clue.
You're telling me the Greens wouldn't have a clue about nature?
Nah, most of them wouldn't have a clue.
The irony.
Wouldn't have a clue.
Have you felt welcomed by Melburnians, city people here?
Yeah, I would say they have probably taken it pretty well, really, because when you get your emergency services revolting against the government because the government's taking aim at them, I don't think that's in any public person's interest. And my message would be to anyone whose house burns down today, because we're here, you can point the finger at the Allen government because we are here. If they just left us alone and let us get on with our job, we would be back in our communities doing what we do.
We spent days and days in the summer fighting the fires in the Grampians, and we've got so many things working against us, and it just felt like today was a culmination of so many issues that we're facing, and we can't believe the Labor government is so disrespectful and unwelcoming of business and of primary production and of its volunteers, and I'm really concerned about the well-being of the people who are doing the things that I'm doing.
How do you think this is going to affect the farmers if they don't scrap it?
Look, I've already fielded phone calls from mid last week, flat out, with emotional, raw and heartbreaking stories where it's pushed people to the absolute limit. People in rural and regional communities at the moment are emotionally, physically and financially broken because of the drought. So this is having a massive impact.
Mental health, it's going to be a huge problem. I don't think she's calculated in the snowball effect of what she's doing with this tax. And don't get me wrong, this ain't a levy, it's a tax.
Will you survive this tax?
It's too early to case. It's like people trying to drag money out of your bank balance every day to support the guide dogs and everything else. They keep on taking and taking and taking. How much of that you can take, that's up to every individual, and that's the real backstory of it all.
Are you worried that you're not going
to? I'm worried that it's going to be a bit harder. My kids will have to do without. My family will have to do without the specific little things. What those are, we don't know.
Not every person and not every business is going to survive what we're enduring now. The ones that do are going to be crawling out of this for years to come. And I just think it's critical that they understand the flow-on effects.
Have you felt supported in the city coming in today?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. A lot of support. A lot of support on the train.
He really hates the news.
Yeah.
What's your name?
George.
There we go. That's how you get them. You turn the camera on them and they always back down. Must be a Labor voter.
No chance.
I'm about to get bashed.
No, there's no Labor voters.
No
here,
Labor
believe me. There would not be anyone here that would vote for this disgrace of a government.
Now
No
or
chance.
before? Before would they have?
Oh, I doubt it. Highly doubt it. Nah.
So the government's...
And never again
Is
either.
that why the government's targeting the country? Because they know it's not really
We're
going to
a
cost them
minor-
votes?
We're a minority.
Minority, absolute minority.
We might be a very small minority of the population of Victoria, but we provide all the food. So I think that's the thing that will have an impact if food runs out. It's a lot to do with food security in our state and in our country.
Well, so who's interviewing who?
Well, that's a very good question. I think I've done this a few times with different people. It works out pretty good, actually. So
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
Do you look up to Dad?
Yep.
Me too.
Oh,
from us?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
want to
it.
know when you're doing...
There we go. I got one from us at rebelstore.com.au.
Yeah, I want to know when you're doing one for the centre for the Wicked Witch of Bendigo East on a T-shirt.
Oh, that's a good idea, team. We're going to have to... The
Yeah,
Wicked Witch from
Bendigo East.
East. I like it.
No, I like that too. Make one and I'll buy it off you.
All right, there we go. Rebelstore.com.au for those tuning in. Yeah. You'll be able to get those T-shirts, and I think we're going to have to put one together. Daniel, you're watching this, I know.
Yeah.
Make sure to get that organised.
Yes, well done, Harvey. Well done.
How does it feel to see this now in the city today?
Wonderful. How do you feel about country people?
I love country people.
Wonderful.
I think you're braver than I am. I'm scared of spiders.
Are you?
A little bit.
We have the whole lot. Spiders, snakes.
This is my turf. Did you get permission from the Rebel gang to be here today?
Well, it's in writing, yes, we did. Yeah. It only cost us a little bit, you know what I mean? Normally it's a kidney. It was only a couple of fingers this time.
You just have to get a shirt from rebelstore.com.au. That's all you had to do.
Well, in fact, I'll do this, right? You need to get a shirt from Billboard Battalion. They're available for sale. You two can own one for $55. That's not too bad. So,
is that including the new tax or not?
No, look, this is. We don't do that, mate. We don't tell the government that we're doing that.
And if Jacinta Allen's watching this, what would you say to her?
Oh, she's just got to stop her bullshit.
just stop her bullshit and just start treating bloody country people with the same respect that she's treating all the bloody bastards around the cities.
Can I swear? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd tell her to get Jacinta Allen.
We put in a lot of time for this CFA community, and we've got a farm, and we're going to just get really shafted on this whole job.
Look, Jacinta, this is your people. Your seat is in Bendigo. This is going to hurt them as well. Everybody around there, and get out there, listen to us, because that's your job.
Jacinta, you've been out of Bendigo too long. Go talk to the real people. You're really hurting this state. I was always very proud of my state, and I think you would find that here. A lot of people are very proud of their state, and they're starting to lose that pride. I'm thinking about starting up a business selling T-shirts, Avi. The last one to leave Victoria, please turn out the lights, because that's what's going to happen.
I hope you haven't trademarked that, because we're going to steal that for rebelstore.com.au.
Surely not.
You got a double whammy today.
Well, we'll have to go in business together, I reckon, Avi. I reckon it'd be a good job.
If she's watching this, which she does, she's subscribed to Rebel News. She's our biggest subscriber. She's probably going to super chat this too.
Yeah.
What would you say to the Premier, seriously?
Come out to the regions and we will tell you to get f***ed ourselves, Jacinta.
You're not voting for her next election.
She won't stand for the next election because she'd lose her seat in Bendigo.
I'd say review what it is you're doing, and take heed of what the people up the bush are saying in particular.
If she was watching this now, what would you say to her?
Oh, I wouldn't fit for this microphone, I don't think.
This is Rebel News.
I'd tell her to get stuffed. Oh, off. Like, seriously, like, she's an arse clown. I know you can't put that on there, but...
Well, one of them's live, so too late.
Scrap the tax.
That's it?
That's it, just scrap the tax.
And then you like her again?
No.
What would you say to her now if she was watching this?
I wouldn't put it on camera. Just got no time for her. And the language I could use is just, makes you wild.
My message here to the government is we don't want to collect this tax. It's a cost shift on local government and it's unfair. That's my message to you, Jacinta Allen.
Premier, you're a waste of time. I met the Premier last year when she came to Melbourne North after we had the storm. I don't know whether you heard about it. We had a tornado go through. She strutted around like she was some sort of movie star and only wanted to push renewable energy. She's just a waste of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Dan's cloned her well. That's about all I can say.
Why do you think she's treating you guys differently?
Well, because we're an easy target. We're normally the ones that stay quiet, and we just sit down and take it. Well, we're overtaking it. Let's show her that we're going to stand up and actually bloody fight for what we think's right.
If you enjoyed this report, make sure to like, comment, but most importantly, share it far and wide. Give a voice to these heroes that are being put through everything by the Victorian government. And then, guys, head to rebelstore.com.au, get yourself one of the T-shirts and support your favourite news network while looking as fantastic as me. rebelstore.com.au.